Welcome to the Lift and Glow Fitness Podcast, the health and fitness podcast for women who want to look great and feel great for good. Whether your goal is to lose weight, build muscle, or you just want to be the healthiest version of yourself, the advice that we share here is going to help you do that by building habits that stick without sucking the fun out of your life. Before we get stuck in today's episode, please make sure to hit subscribe so that you don't miss any future episodes from us. So, how to lose weight quickly? Everyone wants to know this. I mean, anyone who wants to lose weight wants to lose it quickly, don't they? Like, if you want to lose weight, it's because you're not comfortable with how you're feeling right now, and we want a way out of that quickly. So obviously, if you've listened to this podcast before, you know that we are all about long-term sustainable change. We don't just help people lose weight, we help people keep it off for good. And that doesn't work by doing it super fast. It's all about building habits over time that are going to last you. So, like, in my opinion, if you lose weight fast, it's much harder to keep off. But if we were to help someone lose weight as fast as possible, what would we do?
Well, you have to look at the diet first of all.
It's always start with
if
diet.
If you want to lose weight quickly, you need a massive
Calorie deficit.
But the faster you want to do it, the bigger the deficit has to be, doesn't it? So the more restrictive you need to be.
You've got to go hard on you. I think if you want to lose weight quickly, you're going to have to diet. You're going to have to be on it with your nutrition and kind of go against the things that we typically coach. So I'm very much the coach who'll be like, go for a meal with your friends, but let's try and manage that. Or I'll be like, go for a date night, have a bottle of wine with your partner, but let's try and manage it. If you were trying to lose weight as fast as possible, that's not what we would be saying.
If I wanted to lose weight for like something I had on next week, I'd just do one of those juice things or something. And then the next day I'd have ate everything in sight and I'd actually be way heavier than I did now. So
this is the thing as well. Losing weight quickly. Are we talking about losing weight or losing fat?
There's a massive difference, but that would be weight. That wouldn't be fat. That would be weight.
So there is a huge difference.
So water, muscle.
Yeah, you could literally you could stop eating carbs and lose 5 pounds in a couple of days.
And this is where that whole carbs makes you fat things come from. No, it doesn't.
No.
You might retain a bit of extra water, but it's water.
Yeah.
So let's be honest about it's not fat, it's water.
So when people want to lose weight, what they actually want to do is lose fat. They don't want to lose total weight. We don't want to lose muscle. We're not bothered, like water, it doesn't really matter.
Don't really care.
We want to lose fat. Yeah. So obsessing over like losing weight quickly, I actually think it does people more harm than good.
It's counterproductive, isn't it, for most people?
Yeah, because if you want to lose weight and look better and be more toned, and actually, like, I think as well, like, a lot of people want to lose weight because they want to feel better and they want a better, healthier life. You know, they want more. They don't just want the weight loss. They want more energy. They want more confidence. You're not going to do that if you suck the fun out of every little bit of life. Yeah,
I mean There's lots of ways you can lose it really quickly, but you will not be keeping it off.
No, and it doesn't mean that it's healthy. Like, this is a huge thing that I try and drill into all of my clients is just you can lose weight in very unhealthy ways.
Yeah.
And just because, and this is why I don't really like it when people, so someone commented in the gym to someone the other day, oh my gosh, have you lost weight? And she was like, yeah, I've been really sick. And I'm like, I don't really like that. Like, just because someone lost weight doesn't mean they got healthier. They could have been unwell. They could have been really stressed.
It doesn't mean that.
It doesn't mean that you've actually got healthier. And I've worked with so many, particularly after lockdown, or during lockdown, I worked with so many women who lost weight quickly, rapidly, during lockdown, but then lost the menstrual cycle.
Oh yeah. You've gone too far if that's happened.
Yeah, lost the menstrual cycle, lost the sex drive, had no energy, just felt like utter crap.
Yeah.
They didn't get healthier. They literally just lost.
Well, there's that misconception that being skinny means you're healthy. Absolutely doesn't. Like,
it doesn't at all.
It really doesn't.
There is many slim people walking around who are not healthy whatsoever on the inside.
No.
And then there's many people who you might think are in like a bigger body who are very healthy.
Yeah.
And like your weight, your scale weight does not determine your health. And it doesn't determine how you look either.
And the fitness industry's got a lot to, like, there's a lot of fitness influencers and stuff who are not honest about what they eat and, you know, all of, and they'll do the what I eat in a day. And you think you've not ate all of that at all.
Yeah.
It's just, and these ab workouts and, you know, all of that, and like do this, shred your abs in 7 days. And it's like, come off it. Like, it's not going to happen. But the fitness industry leads people to believe as well, you know, these influencers, that if you're really, really tiny and like lean, that means you're really healthy.
Yeah.
And
we know that they're not.
And there's physical health and there's mental health as well. Mm-hmm. And like, you've got to weigh up both, haven't you?
It works together. When I was at my absolute skinniest, I truly believe that I was the least healthy that I've ever been, because it was just, I was obsessive. I was just obsessed with exercise. I was obsessed with calories, didn't have good energy, didn't have any body confidence. Like, I'm much more confident now, 2 stone heavier than I was then. And like, just because I lost weight and got smaller, I wasn't happier and wasn't healthier. And it obviously it took me to get there to realise that. But I do think that people, we shouldn't be obsessing over losing weight quickly. We should be obsessing about health. I always say, like, health is the guiding star.
Yeah.
Like, if a client comes to me and they want to lose weight, I'm like, right, okay, I can help you do that, but I'm not going to do that while sabotaging your health.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put you on 1,000 calories. One thing you were mentioning influencers, but I do have to mention coaches as well, because some coaches give coaching
we've seen
a really bad name.
Yeah.
Like I said, so I got a lot of clients during lockdown and after lockdown who really struggled because they'd done like programs and challenges and massively
I know the ones you're talking about.
Fucked up their relationship with food, just like absolutely warped idea of what they needed to do to feel good. But then also this whole thing of coaches they want to market themselves, and they want to advertise themselves as somebody who helps people lose weight quickly, because that will help them get more clients. Yeah. So they want to see these big drops on the scales. So one of the strategies that I've been told about multiple times is coaches saying, so on this, your weigh day is Tuesday. So on Monday, you're going to have a 500 calorie day.
Oh, so they make them, it's basically fasting the day before. Really,
yeah, so they make them drop water weight the day before. So then obviously they're going to weigh in lighter on the weigh-in day.
It's like the ones who do those photo shoots and they dehydrate them.
I'm not in, you
the
drink a glass of red wine.
The red wine. Dehydrate them.
Oh, I get so frustrated.
And
do you know what, right? Everyone can do what they want to do. If people like to do photo shoots, like, that's completely up to you. But there is something that makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable about the whole like airbrushed. I feel like it would cause body image issues for me.
I actually think it would be quite damaging if I looked at myself 6 months down the line and went, oh, why don't I look like that anymore?
Yeah, so
and
if I
didn't look like that.
Yeah, that's it. So if I dieted for this photo shoot and did extreme things for a photo shoot, if I then got those photos back where it was airbrushed, like every bit of you's airbrushed.
And they do always look unreal, these.
They do. But you're oiled up,
baby
you're airbrushed, like, and you
fake
also,
tan baby oil.
Yeah, and they also put you in positions that make you look leaner, more defined and stuff. I know that would cause me body image issues, and I'm somebody who's quite like confident in myself. So what's that doing to clients, like general population
who haven't done
people?
all the work that you've done, sort of like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think like what we're trying to get at is you can lose weight fast if you want to.
Yeah.
But that doesn't actually mean that, 1, it's healthy.
No.
2, that weight is going to stay off, or 3, that you even lost fat.
No.
Like,
I know.
You can lose weight overnight.
You can lose a load of water.
Just don't eat for 24 hours. But that doesn't mean that you lost fat. It means that you've depleted your body of water. You can do these skinny teas that make you shit constantly. Yeah. And then that would just mean that you've got no food in your digestive system. And so that's the weight you've lost.
There's a bit more.
Yeah, it's not like, it's not body fat.
I know.
So losing weight quickly isn't like, we're never going to be the people who go, you can do it. You can do a crazy calorie deficit and you can do it. But for me, any fool can do that.
Yeah.
I think it takes someone to work really hard on their habits, behaviors, their mindset to actually lose weight and keep it off for good.
I think as long as you've got the habits built in place. So if someone was already had decent habits in place, you could potentially be a bit more aggressive with their, and when I use the word aggressive, I don't mean 1,000 calories, but they could potentially have a little slightly bigger deficit than you'd give to someone who hadn't yet started the process of building
For example,
a habit.
yourself.
So I personally, because I know I have the habits in place, if I am in a diet phase, you know what I'm like, I'm in and I'm out. And it's purely, I am laser focused. I will be in and out in 4 to 6 weeks, and I can be quite aggressive with it. And when I say aggressive, like,
you still feel like, I mean, I've seen what you eat.
Yeah,
you're still eating carbs. You're having your protein. You're getting all your nutrients in.
But I'm not then.
And you've still got space for a curly whaley.
Yeah, exactly. I've still got space for all of that. But that's because I've done the. So if I was brand new to it, there's no way that I would diet someone as aggressively as I might diet myself at this stage. But also, I'm not doing that on an extended basis. So if you're someone who's got quite a bit to lose, realistically, you can't be that aggressive for more than, a few weeks. And I keep saying the word aggressive, which makes it sound like I'm like starving, but it's actually not that at all. It's a slightly bigger deficit than I would give to someone who,
but still enough for you to get all of your nutrients.
Well, I train it I also strength train it like a level of intensity that I couldn't not be fueled. So I have to weigh everything up. But I'm in and out, so I call it arse and about. I wouldn't like arse about if I was in a diet phase, because for me, every day that I do that, I'm extending it. But with a client who hasn't yet built their habits, I might say, no, let's just, like you were saying, go out for your meals, do all of this and take it slower. So you've got to look at the person in front of you, haven't you, as well? And like,
definitely.
What's going to be in their interests and how can we do it healthily? But are they just going to boomerang back to the original weight if we do it this way, sort of thing?
I think as coaches, we have to protect people's relationship with food, their body image. We have to actually protect the health, because a lot of people will do unhealthy things because they feel in a difficult position. But I feel like our responsibility as a coach is not just to help them lose weight, it's to actually leave them better than you found them.
It's health first and foremost for me.
Always.
Like, I would never do anything with anyone that would jeopardize their health.
Yeah, and like people, I think a lot of coaches and programs completely underestimate that you're not actually leaving the client any healthier than when you found them. In fact, you're leaving them worse off. What I would like to say about losing weight fast is that I know that losing weight fast feels fast.
Oh, yeah.
But actually, it's 10 times slower. So if you lose a stone in 4 weeks, then in 4 weeks after that stone's back. You didn't lose anything.
No.
You literally stayed the same. You just dieted really
down.
For
a week or for a holiday or for an event.
You might not have even looked good. You might have just literally starved yourself, got to that point, and then you weren't able to sustain it, so you regained it. So
it felt too hard.
Fast fat loss is always slower in my experience. For most people, obviously there are some people who do stick to it and
for the vast majority, 99% of the population.
99% of people, fast fat loss is actually slower. So by trying to lose weight quickly, you are actually slowing yourself down, because how many times have you started a new diet? How many times have you tried to lose weight quickly only to find yourself within 3 months back to where you began? It was either that you couldn't sustain it, or you got to your result and you went on your night out and you went on your holiday and then reverted back to your habits because it was too hard to sustain. Whereas when you do it slowly, when you actually build habits and lose weight and keep it off, that's faster, because you could do that in 6 months to a year, once, and then it's your life sorted.
You're doing it once.
You literally could maintain that forever. Whereas the people who are losing fat fast, lose fat, regain it, lose fat, regain it, and do that over and over again every single year. So they're starting every January, every summer in this like position they don't feel good in. Whereas if you just spend 6 months to a year doing it properly, doing it once, you're done.
I know.
It's not 10 years of yo-yoing anymore. It's not even like 5 years of yo-yoing. It's literally a year of focus and you're sorted.
Yeah. And like your body will fluctuate throughout the year, won't it? We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Like your body has like seasons, I think you said. Like,
yeah.
So I know at different parts of the year, but it's controlled with me. So I will weigh a little bit heavier. I don't actually know what I weigh at the moment, but I will fluctuate a bit.
Yeah.
But it's not by like a stone.
Well, this is the thing. This is what I mean.
It's a few pounds here and there.
Yeah. When I'm saying lose weight and keep it off, you're not going to get to a weight and stay that exact weight every single day.
No.
What I mean is like getting to like maybe like
a healthy you want a range.
So getting to like a dress size or just a body you feel comfortable in and going a few pounds, kilos either way.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't be losing a stone, regaining a stone, losing a stone, regaining a stone, losing a stone. That is yo-yoing.
No.
And you're doing that because you're trying to go too fast.
I know.
It's about like, if you lose 2 stone, then amazing. But the real challenge, the real success, the diet that actually works is the one that helps you keep that off.
It's got to be sustainable.
Yeah. And, you don't want to have like, a whole other wardrobe for every time your body. It's massive fluctuations. It shows that you haven't combated your habits.
No.
Small fluctuations, completely normal. I mean, if I weighed myself every day, I'd weigh something different. I'm sure you would too. Everyone does.
Well, I actually shared with my clients only, I think it was last week, an old video that Ben Carpenter had shared.
Yeah.
Where he gets up, he weighs himself, he goes for a wee, and probably as a crap as well. Yeah. Then goes back, weighs himself, and it's like, I think it's like a £3 difference or something. Then he downs a litre of water and weighs himself again.
Yeah.
And within 10 minutes, his weight's gone like this.
Definitely.
And it's so easy to do, isn't it? Like literally not having been for a poo can make a difference.
Yeah.
Like it's that simple, as crude as it sounds.
Yeah.
It's like a wee and a poo. Don't be weighing yourself so you've been in the toilet.
Yeah, but that's what I say to, like, we have loads of clients who panic about the scales because they're on a journey towards weight loss. But then they're like, oh my God, the scales have gone up. And I'm like, well, when was the last time you had a poo? And they're like, what? I'm like, no, serious question. Yeah. When was the last time?
Why do you think these skinny teas work?
Exactly, because they
when I say work on the scales, like they make you look like you've lost, like you're just clearing out your digestive system. There's nothing left in there. Everything in your body weighs something, doesn't it?
I think this is as well, like, like boxers and stuff do water fasts and like do the sweatsuits to drop weight. And then there's like women like trying to do stuff, like wearing 3 hoodies to the gym because they're trying to sweat out the fat. I'm like, no, hang on a minute. You're literally just losing water. Yes, you'll go on the scales, and yes, maybe they'll have come down again. Drink a pint of water and it'll be back up.
Well, by the time they actually, so they have the weigh-in, don't they? By the time they fight the following day.
Oh, no, it's up. It's stone up.
So it's like, I still don't get why they still do that in boxing, to be honest. But
I think there is some sort of reason for it.
Fran will have that in his as well.
Jiu-jitsu. They do. There is something. I mean, I don't know enough about it, but there is a reason. They do it to make weight. They want to be they want to be big for their weight category, so they start off big, lose all the water to make weight, and then literally regain it all. So it is a bit backwards, that actually, isn't it? You should just change.
Well, it's one of the most unhealthy practices that and that's for a specific reason. Is not doing it because they want to lose weight. They're doing it to make weight. Yeah, not because they want to.
Yeah. So if you want to lose weight fast, it's actually pretty easy. Like you just do daft stuff, like
go and sit in a sauna for the day.
Yeah, sit in a sauna, give yourself the shits, like get food poisoning.
Go and get a takeaway from Lemon and Lime.
Yeah, go and get a Lemon and Lime takeaway. Oh my gosh.
That'll clear you out.
Oh, it does. Feel scrawny after a night out in the Garlands and then a Lemon and Lime. All those things. You can lose weight rapidly, easily, but that doesn't mean you're
any
healthy.
Any old Phil can do that, can't he? Yeah. And we've all done it, by the way, as well.
Oh, we're laughing about it, but we've been there.
And there's nothing worse than like having done that and then trying to like feel good on your night out. You know, you're like made up getting into your dress, but then like having to prop yourself up against the bar because you're about to faint.
Yeah, so that's it. Or just like, I remember like when we were all going on girls' holidays to like Ibiza and stuff like that, and it was all the mad diets that we did, and then when we're there, we're eating KFC and burgers and chips and everything.
As soon as you land, it's
like, what was the point in that? Like, it's just mad. So you can lose weight fast, but it's not the way
You'll
to
be
go.
doing it every year.
Yeah, you'll just do it over and over again. You'll keep yourself stuck in these mad, wasting money, time, energy. And also, like, it's a really easy way to, like, mess up your relationship with food, mess up your relationship with yourself. I think there is literally only one way to do it. And if you want to lose weight in a quicker way, that's to do it the sustainable way. Like, spend 6 months to a year focusing on you, doing it properly, and then that means that you won't be constantly every single year.
But I think people have to accept the reality of that is it will be slower than they want.
Yeah.
It will always be slower.
But we have to get away from the fact that the scales are the only way to see progress. Like, I've there's so many clients of mine now that I'm just like, bin them fucking scales. Get your husband to hide those scales. Loads of the girls have just completely stopped weighing themselves, and I'm proper here for it because
I've said that to two girls separately this week.
Yeah, I've got loads of online girls who are just not weighing themselves at all, and they're having a much better experience of it all. They are still seeing fat loss, but they're seeing fat loss and they're focusing on the process. So their clothes are different, they feel different in their clothes, their measurements, they're getting compliments from people, and they don't even know what they weigh. And I just think that's liberating for a lot of people. Like, I know it was liberating for me when I just stopped weighing myself, and I just think, like, focus on the process. You cannot go wrong by focusing on the fundamentals, and the scales more often than not just hold people back.
I actually I had a client this morning who said to me, like, a husband was saying to her the other day, your pants look like clown pants, because she said, and she went, I was made up, because she's been using these clothes to, like, obviously measure how she feels. But she said she's done her measurements and she said, I don't feel like they've changed. And I said, but your body shape is changing. Yeah. But she said as well, it's not really any difference on the scales. And she was like, it's crazy, she said, because it messes with your head now. It's like, don't get on the scales again.
Yeah, leave it. Yeah.
A girl messaged me a few days ago, one of the girls, and said, I've just got into a pair of jeans I've not even been able to zip up. They used to cut off my blood, used to cut off my circulation. Her weight on the scales has hardly changed. But also, these are new to strength training. Mm-hmm. So also that can also at first, can't it, as well? It can, like, they'll be getting the beginner's gains of building a bit of muscle as well at the beginning. So, and it's just trying to drill that into people that what you're looking for is not the number on the scale. Like, it's the feeling. You're not walking around with a sign on saying I weigh like X amount. No, it's the feeling. It's feeling good in your clothes.
Yeah. And this is like, obviously we talk about weight loss. Yeah. But what we actually want
is fat loss.
Yeah, everybody wants fat loss. And sometimes to achieve fat loss, you don't need to see the scales change.
It's not as obvious, I don't think, as well, sometimes with fat loss, because if you are losing water as well, it seems like a much bigger loss, doesn't it? Whereas fat is a bit more discreet, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
But I will never I never refer to weight loss ever. If I'm posting something, it's always
fat loss.
Because we're trying to retain or even build some muscle.
Yeah.
And that's going to get you your shape that you want as well, isn't it? So, and also body composition matters.
Yeah, it does. It massively matters. And like, so the obsession with the scales, it does often, it holds people back more than anything. And like, there's many of my clients who are they're either the same weight or they're a couple of pounds down, and they're literally 2 dress sizes
it's
down.
Mad, isn't it?
And I'm looking at progress photos.
It still fascinates me, like, when you see it is mental when you think about it. So if it's hard for us to sometimes get our head round,
it's
really hard if you don't have, like, because we see it all the time, don't we?
It blows
clients.
my mind. Like, I was a size like 12 to 14 when I was this weight, and it's just weird looking at my body then compared to now. I'm like, I've literally just built loads of muscle. That's the only difference.
And the other thing you'll find is that a lot of the big one I get is that people want to lose belly fat, and like, obviously there's the whole, you can't spot reduce fat and stuff, but if you strength train and you build muscle, I can now get more definition in my stomach at a much heavier weight, like a few kilos heavier than I would have had to diet down to previously to see any form of, like, definition. So that's another of the benefits of building some muscle, isn't it? Is that you actually probably look smaller
at a heavier
weight.
And also, this is the best benefit of having more muscle. If you, and not being super light on the scales, if you are always chasing a lighter weight, your capacity for food is less.
Yeah.
So for example, if you're if you keep losing weight, you are always going to need to eat less to sustain
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Whereas if you build muscle, lose body fat, you will look better at a heavier weight, but you'll also enjoy life more because you can eat more food.
Yeah, your metabolism, your metabolic health is much better.
So your metabolism's better because you've got more muscle. So the scales might not go where you want them to, but you look better, you feel better, and you can eat more food.
Yeah.
Why would you not want to do that?
I know. And I think as well, like the whole BMI thing and that.
Oh yeah.
I
I'm
actually
overweight on BMI.
Yeah, I'm top ends.
Yeah.
And but I went and had that a full body scan recently, and albeit like my BMI is like high.
Yeah.
My metabolic health and my body composition is like, I was made up actually. It was optimal. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
So I was like,
mine said I was an athlete, and I was like, I'm taking that. I am an athlete.
But so Jed's got it done as well, and Jed's so Jed's strength train. He's like us. He trains. His BMI says he's overweight, which he was gutted about. But his metabolic age is 15 years younger than his actual age. So I was like, but the first thing people focus on is whatever they perceive to be negative on that, isn't it?
BMI,
and I was like, you're not overweight. He's got a big muscle mass.
Yeah, we shouldn't be focusing on BMI. We should be looking at body fat. Yeah, so body composition, fat to muscle ratio. It's the same. Like Fran would be considered overweight.
It's mad, isn't
maybe
it?
even into the
it's
into
like
the
rugby
next
players.
bracket. Yeah,
rugby players are classed as morbidly obese. Some of them, and they are like fit as anything.
Yeah, but that's the thing with Fran. Like when he walks into a room, he's big, muscly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like and it's the same. I think people always get a bit of a shock when I say what I weigh on the scales.
Yeah,
they're like,
me too.
Oh, you literally look titty, and I'm like, I'm not anywhere near 50 kilo. Don't even think that I'm that.
I've always been big bones.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I was big bones.
But we should, like, BMI, it's so like out of date. We shouldn't be focusing on it. I think obviously body composition is
more
great.
Important.
And waist to hip ratio.
Yeah, waist to hip ratio.
Because that shows you your visceral fat.
Yeah.
So that is actually something that I do think is
I think
worth
there's more
looking
focus being put on, because I always say to people as well, because there's more focus being put on that now for health markers, isn't there?
Well, it shows visceral fat. If your waist is close to your hips or bigger than your hips, then you're carrying visceral fat. Yeah, which is dangerous. Yeah.
But I think as well, like, if I always say to clients, so if there are someone who obsesses over scale weight, like, unless you're in a category of weight, like you are in the obese or morbidly obese category, and you've been told by a doctor that number matters for certain health markers, unless that's your situation, it matters less, doesn't it? If you are at a stage where you need to be at a stage, do you know, like for a
100%
for a health marker, but most people aren't in that situation. The average, like, so some people will be, and
if you're between the normal to overweight range, you can still be healthy within that.
But you don't need to even think about the scales. I think you just focus on what
body
you're doing.
Composition.
And if you want to weigh every now and then, like, I don't really weigh. I know. If I've, if I'm,
I don't know what I weigh.
If my clothes are getting a little bit tighter, I know I've put on a bit of weight.
I don't think I've weighed myself since last June. So I did my own 6-week challenge in last June. I never weighed myself at all for the 6 weeks, apart from day one and the last. And I think I lost a couple of pounds, but like by looking at me, it looked more. But that was the last time I weighed myself, because I genuinely do not care. Like,
no, I went for that body scan thing, like a full medical thing, and I got weighed then. But I was like, ooh.
It is like it holds people back, and it's not the most important thing. And I totally understand why people are obsessed with it. I totally understand why people want to lose weight fast, but it isn't the way to go, and it isn't the right thing to focus on, because you can lose weight fast and still not feel any better.
I know.
And so
probably feel worse.
Yeah. The only way to like actually feel better about yourself is just focus on the process, the healthy habits, the training.
And if you don't change your behaviours, you're never going to change the result, are you? You've got to build, like, your behaviours have got to change, but long term, like, you have to be prepared to make changes for forever. And it sounds like, like, that's why when people say to me,
overwhelming.
And when people say like, oh, I've cut out carbs, or I've cut out crisps, or I've cut out chocolate, I'm like, when are you planning to reintroduce them? Because unless you're never planning to eat carbs again, you need to learn how to build them into your diet.
Yeah, exactly.
And not gain weight, you know.
It's just that seems like the easy way out. If people want to lose weight quick, it's like, right, this is just cut that out and then I'll lose weight quickly.
I think it feels more manageable for people.
Like, but like what we're saying is that losing weight quickly isn't the goal. It's losing weight and keeping it off, because losing weight quickly is going to cause this repetitive regain and loss.
Yeah.
Whereas if you do it once, you do it properly,
you don't have to do it every year.
Yeah.
Or if you do, like we were saying before, it's just going to be like, you know, a few pounds fluctuation.
Yeah.
And you can have that gone in a few weeks then.
Quickly.
So you're not in like a diet phase for 6 months of every year. You know, it's like the majority of your year. Being at maintenance calories is a lovely place to be. It is, isn't it? So that's your goal, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.